Executive producer Akiva Goldsman. And executive producer Henry Alonzo Myers.
His first wife. They had a great time.
We're so excited to have you guys here today. What a beautiful panel we have. My goodness. So, we are really excited to hear everything there is to know, or at least, what you're legally allowed to tell us about Strange New Worlds. I hope it's a little bit of spoilers, but not too much. But for Anson, Ethan, and Rebecca, all three of you have appeared on Star Trek Discovery. So, how is shooting Strange New Worlds comparing?
Pandemic's new. That's a bummer.
I feel like that's everybody's answer at this point. It's just like, so there's this COVID thing.
We were shooting standalone episodes, and Discovery was a serialized, ongoing story. So I think that the standalone episodes was a big difference for us. Let's start there, but definitely the pandemic was the strangest part of Strange New Worlds for us.
Yeah, and having legacy characters is a wonderful new thing. I mean, I guess that we are all sort of filling those roles, but there will be more. So that's...
Legacy characters with legacy relationships.
Yeah.
Ooh. Is that a spoiler?
I mean, a little bit.
Is it? Am I in trouble?
Unfortunately, it's not spoiled yet. It's just turning.
Tell me when I've gone too far.
That's when we just cut the stream. That's when we cut the feed. Yeah. Well, what has been your favorite moment that you guys can reveal without spoilers, COVID aside?
I got to look into Spock's view scope a bunch of times, which I actually never did in Discovery because there was none, or on our Enterprise. So that's, if you know what I'm talking about, you'll recognize it when you see it. It was very cool.
I think anytime stepping onto the bridge of the Enterprise, for me personally, it was always emotional. It's just a really special place to be. The first time we stepped onto that set, it was very emotional, and it never stopped. It just packs a punch every time you're on that set. And it was also the only time we all got to work together as a cast. Some of the days on the bridge were some of our longest days. Anson would always come in with literally a boombox, blasting rock music on those days. But because we couldn't hang out off of set, those were our days where we got to hang out together like a family, and those bridge days were the best days.
Yeah, I think every first day I had with new characters was such a thrill, and getting to know the new cast we have, which are so wonderful, which I think you will see who they're playing very shortly.
And the sets are really next level. I mean, the first time I got to see the captain's quarters.
They're sexy. The captain's quarters, they're sexy.
They're the coolest captain's quarters.
It's amazing.
Bruise your shins in there a lot.
Yes.
Lots of shin bruising furniture.
And Jonathan, our production designer, Jonathan Lee, just did such a phenomenal job of maintaining the classic look even with the mid-century modern aesthetic from the late 60s. I think you'll see an homage to that, along with just sort of a more modern take.
Well, I'm excited to see all of this. And we were speaking earlier about legacy and family, and I've been told that there may be somebody special out in the audience that we would like to introduce today. They're,
Really?
yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know anything.
I was told to cue it up that we have some of the Nimoys in the audience today.
Oh no way!
I was told you knew about
Hey, how are you?
this. Don't you love that? Legacy, family. This is pretty cool to
You're
see
gonna be
happening
in
right
the
now.
first season? We can't tell you.
That's a spoiler. We have to cut the stream. We've already been over this. Gosh, well, moving on, Akiva and Henry, before anything else gets spoiled, please tell us how it's been filming on the Enterprise. Can you tell us anything awesome on set other than the shin bruising furniture? And what are other cool settings we get to see?
Well, the first time you go onto the bridge is an experience. My favorite moments, there's a ready room off the bridge where we would place our monitors. And I would sit in there when we're doing explosive sequences, and you could see the monitor and watch everyone leaping out of the way as the flames blast. So I will cherish those moments for sure. But the most amazing thing is it when you're on it, the set is so intricate. It feels like a spaceship. It feels like we built a spaceship. I mean, everything works. You touch things, they react. All the monitors are like running things. We have some incredible motion graphics department that comes up with different things that appear on the monitors in response to what our characters are doing. I mean, it's really, you forget that you're on a soundstage in Toronto.
Anson was talking about his quarters, and it's worth noting that, yes, we're filling legacy characters' outlines and all that has come before, but we're also writing them again. So it's a really complicated and exciting tightrope walk, but a perfect example is, in fact, Anson's quarters, because there's not that much we really know about Captain Pike. I mean, we know Jeffrey Hunter's portrayal of him. We know novelizations, which are canon, depending on the day of the week. And we started talking about what kind of leader Captain Pike was and how to differentiate him from Jim Kirk or Kate Janeway or Jean-Luc Picard. And we're just getting to know Anson, and this is syntonic with the guy who carries the boombox in. He gets the group together. He is a leader, turns out, and we started talking about how Anson leads and how he likes to create consensus and how he likes to do that over a table. And we suddenly started redesigning Captain Pike's quarters to be around a table, to let it be a place where someone can cook for the people who are his crew. That the way to understand how Pike leads is to see Pike's heart, which is Pike's kitchen. And that became a truth of the character and became a truth of the construction of the world the character lives in. Just an example of how all these actors have brought their own uniqueness to these roles that came before them. It's pretty extraordinary.
I know that everyone out there listening to this panel is excited to see exactly that heart that you're talking about in this show. And I've been told this time the Strange New Worlds cast and crew does know about a super exciting announcement that we have here prepared for you guys. You have all tweeted, you've commented, you have guessed all over the internet, and the moment is finally here for us to reveal. Well, I'm not gonna reveal it. Let's let the control room reveal it. Take it away, you guys.
Hi, I'm Anson Mount, and I play Captain Christopher Pike on Star Trek Strange New Worlds. Pretty much every day, there's a moment where I think to myself, I'm on Star Trek.
I'm Ethan Peck, and I play Mr. Spock. Coming back to the bridge of the Enterprise is thrilling, it's daunting, it's very surreal.
I'm Rebecca Romijn, and I play Una, also known as Number One. The character was originated by Majel Barrett Roddenberry in the original pilot of the original series, and now we finally get to really flesh out this character, and she's way more complex than y'all know.
Hi, my name is Celia Rose Gooding, and I am thrilled and honored to say that I will be playing Cadet Nyota Ukura. I am so excited to be stepping into this legacy. My name is Jess Bush, and I am delighted to announce that I will be playing Nurse Christine Chapel.
Congratulations, I will be playing Dr. Mbenga. I'm excited.
Hello, my name is Bruce Horak, and I'm thrilled to announce that I will be playing the character of Hammer. I'm welling up with emotion as I say it.
My name is Christina Chong, and I play Laan Union Singh. I'm super excited to become a part of this amazing, diverse universe.
My name is Melissa Navia, and I'm super excited to announce that I will be playing Lieutenant Erica Ortegas on Star Trek Strange New Worlds. It was really good to finally be able to say that.
The cast that we were able to pull together for this, it's exactly the kind of people you would have hoped you'd end up with on a high wire walk like this.
Okay, that was the first time I was seeing that too, and now I'm so hyped for this show. Uhura and Nurse Chapel, Dr. Mbenga, this is legendary, and I cannot wait to see even more of those original series characters. And also, addition to some new characters too. There's so much good Star Trek happening, you guys.
How about number one and Nurse Chapel in the same show?
We have scenes together.
And they don't get ripped
Very
off.
meta.
That's probably the most exciting announcement out of all of them tonight, so thank you for that. But mind if we continue with this Q&A? All right. Well, for Ethan, Anson, and Rebecca, when did you guys find out there would be more legacy characters on Strange New Worlds, and how did you react to that? And also, when did you find out who would actually be playing them?
I guess that first Zoom meeting where they introduced us all, but I don't think we knew much until we read the first episode. That's when we found out, right?
Yeah, that was the first read through was the Zoom.
Yeah.
We did, right?
And that's when we all met over Zoom.
Pretty recent, like pretty close to when we began production, right?
Very close,
Yeah.
like days before we all left for Toronto.
That's right, because Jess was on her way to the airport. She had to leave early to go to the airport.
Right.
How did you guys keep that under wraps for so long? I feel like that's such an exciting secret.
We were on lockdown. We weren't allowed to leave our homes.
So there's also a lot of actual Polaroids taken of the cast when they first show up after drinking a lot. And we keep them off the internet as long as they don't tell anybody else.
I see. Very clever, very clever. You and COVID working together to keep them on lock. I like it. So obviously Strange New Worlds is influenced by the original series since they are so close together in time. And they clearly have some overlapping characters. Without giving too much away, what has been your favorite original series throwback while filming? This is for all of you, and we can go down the line. Let's start at the end.
Henry. His name is Henry. He's the showrunner. His name is Henry.
I can't think of anything that doesn't spoil something.
Let it
Well,
turn
All
slightly.
you can think of are spoilers.
I know.
I mean,
It's
right.
a little like, I remember going to see Star Trek The Motion Picture, after watching the original series and being like, oh my God, they have all the money, they have all the special effects. And to me, the most exciting thing about it was seeing like just the transporter room, and seeing what you could do with the transporter room, like in a contemporary, production context, which is quite a lot. It comes to life in a way that you don't even quite realize until you're standing in front of it.
There are a couple of things that were really delightful to play with as we were kind of remaking it up. One was the hints of relationships that we imagined we saw or knew we saw that were never quite fulfilled. Attractions, potential connections made or missed. That was super delightful because the original series was filled with those, and we never really got to really play them through. So we were constantly trying to imagine we were responding to promises that we thought were made in the original show, and those promises were probably made to us when we were 12. So it's a very interesting process of refining that into storytelling. It was pretty fun.
Aside from the bridge, I had a lot of fun with the hair department getting inspired by retro hairstyles from the original series. I loved it.
And nails.
And nails. Yeah. Again, which was a challenge because there were no nail salons open in Toronto during the time we were in production.
I'm gonna spoil something.
I know, I can see it. You should have a sign that
Can I
says
talk about
about
feelings?
to
Can I talk about
spoil.
feelings?
I mean, it's amazing.
Can I talk about feelings?
Okay, so go ahead, talk about
We're being Spock talking about feelings.
Okay, go ahead, talk about Spock.
Spock's feelings.
Okay, no more.
Of love and attraction.
Oh, God.
Oh!
Look, it's fair. Look, you've seen, obviously, you have seen, I can't say that to her, but you have, in fact, seen the cage, and you've seen Where No Man Has Gone Before. So you know that on the continuum that is Spock's life, despite our desire to constantly say, oh, he's logical, he's many things. The waveform of Spock's journey when it comes to his identification as human or Vulcan, and the disciplines attendant to each of those changed, right? We've seen it move. We can't ignore, you know, Smiley Spock, the Spock that we meet in the original pilot and in Where No Man Has Gone Before. So that's what Ethan's alluding to, but he's going to tell you way more than I will. Get him drunk later. It's so easy. Take it forward and send it to him.
Anything else?
I feel
that was great. Thank you.
Big idea of the week, which makes the Enterprise the star of the show.
Succinct. I love it. Thank you. Well, thank you guys for joining us here today for this panel. We've gotten so many incredible little tidbits, and one of the many things that we are so excited about, obviously, similar to the original series, is each episode of Strange New Worlds will contain its own story, like you said. That means a new adventure each week. So I have to know, what made you decide on this format?
Well,
fan reaction discovery.
There's a great thing that episodic television does, and Star Trek did it greater than most, which is to teach while, as my late wife would have said, sugaring the pill, not letting the audience know that what we're doing is telling a story with a moral. Star Trek came not incidentally in the late 60s, at a time where we could really have used and could use a lens on our behavior, our society, our hopes for the future and the present we were living in. It's not particularly different today, sadly. So we get to do that thing that Star Trek did, and that O. Henry did, and that Twilight Zone did, which is to, in a closed-ended narrative, turn it. Give you a moment where hopefully you'll look differently at the story you saw. Hopefully your view of what you thought you knew on a good day for us will be challenged by us. And that's something that is kind of unique to short-form storytelling, and one of those promises Star Trek made that we're fulfilling, we're trying.
That was a beautiful way to end this panel. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. We really appreciate you guys coming out here for Star
Thank you.
Tonight. So give it up for the cast of Strange New Worlds. Which, of course, will be represented to Paramount Plus in the United States. Very exciting. So thank you guys so much. Over to Will.
Okay, I have so many things to say about this panel. Your show, oh my God, I cannot wait. None of that is in the prompter. This is all me going way off and freaking out everyone in the truck. I should be reading this instead of...
I mean, I feel like there's a whole cross-temporal Wesley possibility, I'm just saying.
I am 100% all in.
I think I'd cast the whole next season tonight.
That would be helpful. Listen, as all of you can imagine, social media is blowing up after that cast announcement, and we're all going to need a minute to process it here on the main stage. So let's head back to our friends from the red carpet for the latest fan reaction. Take it away, Naomi Kyle and Stella Chu.
Oh my God, is the hype not real right now? I'm just processing that entire trailer.